Welcome to Fireside Giants. My name is Alex. Little update for you guys. The Giants reworked the contract of tackle Nate Solder. This was incoming, as we thought. Dan Duggan of The Athletic reported that it was optimistic that the Giants were going to retain Solder for another season, but now we are officially on the boat of knowing that Solder will be with the Giants in 2021, and he will likely be a starting tackle. Now, what side? I imagine it will be the right tackle position, just because the Giants do have left tackle Andrew Thomas. That they selected 4th overall last year, so I don't think he's moving anywhere. Nate Solder has just missed an entire season. He hasn't played right tackle in over a decade. So here we are wondering, what are the Giants doing with this player? What is the cap hit going to look like? What is the money going to look like? That's the big question, because right now, the Giants need as much money as they can get. And ultimately, it's going to be tough because depending on what this contract looks like, they may have more or less money than we previously anticipated. Now, the Giants would have saved about $6 million if they cut Nate Solder up outright. If they cut him post-June 1st, they would have saved about $10 million, but it would have been moved back to 2022, so it kind of would have hurt them next season. But this rework deal, apparently the expectation is that it will flatten out and even up with the dead money hit. So essentially, it'll bring his cap hit from like $16.5 million or more down to about $10 million. So it'll bring it down significantly. They'll save about $7 million in the process, and they'll retain the right tackle. So this is an interesting move because I think instead of cutting him outright, they lowered the cap hit enough where they were like, okay, this is what we would have lowered it anyway by cutting him. By reworking this deal, we end up saving that same amount, and we get to keep the player. So I think they killed two birds with one stone there in a way. They're able to retain Nate Solder and use him instead of just cutting him and saving the same amount of money without reworking his contract. So I get what they're doing there. I think that was a smart decision. And now they have a player who essentially is going to be competing at the right tackle spot with Matt Peart. I think that's really what we're looking at here. He is going to be essentially a swing tackle, but I think with the idea of being able to supplement the loss of Cam Fleming, who, we didn't think was very good last year. He wasn't, obviously, since they let him go. He was a stopgap, and I think Nate Solder now, he comes in, replaces Cam Fleming. He's going to be the starting right tackle, and then Matt Peart, you can ask him to be a rotational piece in terms of if you have an injury, you sub in, maybe Solder struggles a bit, Peart can come in and try and give them a little boost at the right tackle position. But overall, I think this is a decent move. I don't think this should be, this is a bad move by any means, because for the most part, I really do think Nate Solder has some value in terms of what he can offer the Giants this upcoming season instead of cutting him outright. I see what they did. Like I said before, they're saving the money, but they're also saving the player. So they really get both. They get the money and they get the player instead of just letting him walk and then moving on. Now you have to replace him anyway. So, they have the tackle. Now the problem is, what are you going to do at right guard? Because right next to him, Kevin Zeitler, he's out. They cut him. They saved $12 million. They're going to apply that towards Leonard Williams, of course. And now they have to make a decision. Are they going to draft somebody? Are they going to sign somebody? Or are they going to move Will Hernandez to right guard or Shane Lemieux? No, I think personally what they're going to do is they're going to sign a right guard that's cheaper, maybe a stopgap guy, or somebody on a multi-year deal, push that cap hit to next season. But with Nate Solder's deal, they probably were like, if we cut you, you're going to make very, very close to nothing compared to what you're getting now. He's going to make probably around $7 to $10 million this upcoming year, which is a lot more than he'd probably make on another team. He might be a swing tackle on another squad, maybe $3 or $4 million contract over 1 year. So I think for the Giants, this is a smart move. They go into, the upcoming weeks, or really the upcoming days with free agency starting on March 17th. They go into it feeling good about themselves in terms of the money they have available to roll over into another contract, because this is going to be interesting. I think they will restructure a couple more deals, whether it's Blake Martinez, James Bradbury. Bradbury has the biggest cap hit of any player on the Giants this upcoming season at $17 million, so I think they'll try and restructure that, maybe add an extra year, push it one more season to next year. That way they can create some availability in terms of cap flexibility. But I think this is an interesting move. I agree with what they did. Now, of course, I'd prefer to have Nate Solder not on the team and them saving the entire, 16 or whatever million or so he's going to be making. But for the most part, they have the right tackle now. They have that position solved. They can move forward feeling good about themselves. He was expected to make $16.5 million. I project he will make about between $7 and $10 million. We will obviously update you with those numbers as they come along on the website, Empire Sports Media. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. This quick little update to update you on Nate Solder and what they just did to rework his contract. We will catch you guys on the next video.